Hi, I'm Catalina, one of your SNAP4CT nutritionists. Today we're talking all about stone fruit. I know it sounds funny, a fruit with a stone inside? Well, we refer to the seed as the stone in this case. Regardless, seed or stone, these fruits are so good for us, not to mention how delicious they are. So why don't we get to know them a little bit better? Peaches are part of this family. Did you know that there are two kinds of peaches? There's one type called freestone, which means that the flesh of the peach is not sticking to the pit. And then the other kind is called clingstone, which basically means that the flesh is clinging or sticking to the pit. And did you know that the peaches that we buy at the grocery store that come in a can, most of them are cling peaches? So now you know. Nectarines are like a peach, but their skin is a lot smoother. And this is something very interesting. Did you know that almonds grow on trees? Yes, they grow on trees. And they actually are inside of what looks like a green peach. And what we eat is the seed inside. Isn't it cool? The stone fruits in general are very high in fiber, in potassium, and in vitamin A. Because they're so good for us, we should know how to select them when we go to the grocery store or the farmer's markets. If we're looking for peaches or nectarines, they should have a smooth skin. Peaches will have a little bit of a fuzzy skin. Nectarines' skin will be a little bit smoother, but they shouldn't have any bruises or cuts. If you want your fruit a little bit ripe, then you want them to yield to gentle pressure. If you're looking for plums, they should also be smooth, no cuts or bruises. The color should be a nice dark color if it's a red or a purple plum, but they also come in other colors like this one, which is a little bit green but has a little bit red tones to them, and also some green plums. If you're choosing cherries, we have two types of cherries. We have the red cherries and we have the Rainier cherries. The red cherries should have a dark purple color all around. And then the Rainier cherries, these are a little bit lighter in color and they have a lot of yellow in them as well. This doesn't mean that these cherries are not ripe. This is actually their natural color. So what you need to look for in either kind of cherry is the stems. The stems need to look healthy, they need to look bright green, and they need to be attached to the cherry. If the stems are attached to the cherries, that's a good indication that the cherries are fresh. So now we got home with our delicious stone fruit. What do we do with it? If your stone fruit is not ripe enough to your liking, you can always put it in a brown bag like this one and then get it ripe for maybe 1 or 2 days. It all depends on how ripe or not it was before. Remember that because you can't really see through the paper bag, you have to check daily because you don't want that to rot. Once it's ripe enough, then you put it in the refrigerator. Cherries lose a lot of their freshness and quality if you leave them at room temperature. So as soon as you get home, you want to put them in a bag that's loosely covered and straight into the refrigerator so that they maintain their freshness and they can last up to 7 days. And of course, remember to wash all your stone fruit just before you're ready to eat them. So now that our stone fruit is ready, how do we prepare it? Well, luckily we can eat stone fruit raw or cooked. If you're eating it raw, you can eat it by itself, or you can add it to your cereal or your yogurt. You can also add it to any muffins or cakes or pie. You can also poach it or saute it, and you can prepare it into savory and sweet dishes. You can also freeze your stone fruit, and there are 2 ways of freezing your stone fruit. You can either just cut it in half and take the pit out, and then slice it like that and put it in a single layer into a tray. Put that tray into the freezer, and when it's rock solid, you want to transfer those frozen pieces into a freezer bag, and remember to label that and date it. And then that's one method. The second method is blanching it, and we've talked about this method before. All it means is that we have a pot of boiling water, and let me show you what it looks like. And all we need to do in case of peaches, for example, we want to cut a little cross at the very top. This is going to help us peel the peaches a lot easier. So all you need to do, again, nectarines or peaches or plums, just cut a little cross at the top and then submerge those peaches into the boiling water. And then we wait for about 40 seconds. And then when that's ready, We will take that out of the boiling water and we will submerge that into a bowl of iced water. So let's check on our peaches. About 40 seconds have gone by. I will fish them out with my strainer, but you could also use a perforated spoon to do that. And I am putting the peaches into that bowl of iced water. So you let them cool a little bit like that. So when the peaches are cool enough, you can just take them out, and then with that cross that we made at the beginning, you can just start peeling the peach like that. You can also freeze cherries, and we normally don't think about freezing cherries, but we actually can do that, and it's very easy. You can either leave the pit inside and freeze them like that, or take the pit out. And I will show you 2 ways on how you can do that. So let's take a look here. This is a pitter or a cherry pitter. I will show you how to use one in case you want to buy one. You basically take the stem off the cherry like I just did. You place your cherry over here, and then you press. And then your cherry doesn't have a pit anymore. So let's try one of these Rainier cherries. Take the stem off. If you don't have one of these, you can pit the cherry with a knife. So let me show you how you do that. Again, take the stems off. And then you want to smash them a little bit. Ooh, look at all that juice. And then you can take the pit out like that. It may not leave the cherry as intact as the pitter does, but it still does the job. If you want it to be a little bit cleaner, then maybe you want to just cut your cherry like that, and then try to do it with your hand like this. Oops, there you go. So see, this is much better in terms of cleanliness, and it's going to look prettier and not so smashed, but you know, either way it works. I don't know about you, but all this talk about stone fruit is making me really hungry. So let's make the recipe. We're making a delicious plum and cucumber salad. The recipe calls for plums, but you can use any kind of stone fruit that you have. I'm actually using different kinds of color plums so that it looks even prettier. So I have things already started here. Let's take a look at our bowl. I have some chopped cucumber, some chopped red onion. I also have some orange red bell pepper already chopped up, and some cilantro. You could use cilantro or parsley, or you could also use mint. It would be delicious with mint as well. And then I have my chopped plums over here. So all I need to do at this point is just add some of my plums. Look how pretty the different color plums are. And then our dressing, which is a mix of oil, any kind of oil that you have, some balsamic vinegar, a little bit of salt and pepper. We give it a mix. Pour that in there and give it a stir. Look how pretty this looks, and how easy is that? And this is ready. Remember that adults need at least 2 cups of fruits every day. Our salad has fruits and vegetables, so it's even a bonus. So let me measure out 2 cups to show you that it's not really that difficult to do on a regular basis. That's 1 cup. And that's 2 cups of fruits and vegetables combined. How easy was that? Doesn't this look delicious? Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you learned something about stone fruit. Remember to go to our website, SNAP4CT.org, to look for a recipe, plum and cucumber salad. Until next time, happy cooking.